Hey, what's good, people? It's your man Adam McBride checking in. Welcome to With That Being Said. You know how we get down. It's the only hip-hop game show where you get points for your hot takes. I have my esteemed panel with me today. I got Premier, I got Press Play Jones, and I got my guy Dame Diddy. You know how we get down. 7 topics. We're going to do a debate for each one. Whoever wins the round gets the point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. It's that simple. Let's kick things off from the West Coast. Suge Knight is currently doing a 28-year bid behind bars, and he has entrusted none other than Ray J to take care of his estate and his business affairs. My question to you, Dane, do you trust Ray J with the Death Row name?
Look, man, I love Ray J. Ray J, he's a great entrepreneur. He comes up with some really good ideas. His scooter's selling well. His earbuds are selling well. But ain't no way he about to get Death Row's record label back off the ground. I don't think that thing is in the graveyard. Ain't nothing that can be done to revive that thing. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you, Jones, are you surprised that Suge reached out to Ray J to run his estate?
I've been thinking about this. Like, I believe that it's not a bad idea. Because Ray J is a dope businessman. He's dope. And he could bring a different twist, maybe not with his own music, but he definitely has the power to delegate and stay current. Look how long he has been popular and been in our faces, even though his music has not been the greatest. He knows how to revamp himself, and I think he would be good for the label, actually.
All right, Premier, do you trust Ray J with the Death Row name?
Ray J is a creative, he's an entrepreneur, he's a business owner. Man's career extends longer than a lot of people can even dream of. You know, from acting through music. This guy was partying with Kobe Bryant, Tupac, and who knows who else in the club before he can probably even get in. So they know him. Suge Knight didn't do this. Suge Knight's never been a dumb businessman when it comes to that kind of those kind of affairs. So entrusting Ray J smart. Ray J is not going to mess up the money, and I don't know if it's really about trying to revive Death Row as much as it is just making smart decisions about the estate and Death Row Records and all the business associated with it. So yeah, it's a good look to me.
Exactly. It's not necessarily focused on the record label per se, but there's a lot of documentaries in the work. There's movies in the works. There's Tupac projects in the works. And that is what Ray J will be overseeing. Premier, this goes to you because you were the only one who didn't mention his electronics. I don't know one person that owns a pair of Ray J headphones, and neither do y'all. So, what?
Yes, I do, and they're dope.
What are they called?
I like them. Raycons.
Raycons.
All right, fair enough. You might own a pair. I still don't believe it. I got to see that. But this one goes to Premier. You're 100% right. It's not just focused on the record label, but more of all of his business ventures. All right? Now, moving on. We're going to keep it Death Row for question number 2. Suge has entrusted Nick Cannon to handle his book. Premier, do you have faith in Nick Cannon to deliver a bestseller?
Definitely. Having actually just released the book and co-authored a book, the rules of becoming a bestseller is based on popularity. As long as he pushes 9,000 books in the first week, 3,000 for the New York Times bestseller, he'll get it, and popularity can do that alone. So Nick Cannon has been in the industry himself. Writing talent has to have it. He comedian, wilding out jokes and all that kind of stuff. So he has to have writing ability. And by the time Suge Knight's name on it, Nick Cannon's name on it, it's guaranteed to push enough sales to become bestseller.
All right, Dame, are you checking for that Nick Cannon produced Death Row book?
I actually fuck with Nick Cannon heavy. I watched Cannon Class. I watched Wildin' Out. I actually agree with Nick Cannon's first album, even though a lot of people don't really rock with it. I actually think it's actually got some pretty cool songs up there. Yeah, exactly. But besides that, I think Nick Cannon can do anything he sets his mind to. This dude is super busy. He's got a show on Power 105 in L.A. He works out like crazy. The dude got lupus, all right? And he still manages to pop out all of this stuff. A book is going to be light work for this dude. He could do that in his sleep while he's doing the Dr. Sebi book. So I'm pretty sure he'll be able to do it just fine.
All right, now you just heard all of the stuff that Nick Cannon is working on. Jones, do you also believe he can pull a book out as well?
I mean, I agree with my opponents have said, but I'm not sure if I'm checking for the author to be Nick Cannon. I don't know if I would go into a bookstore and look for Nick Cannon to author this book. So I'm going to choose no on this one.
Now, Dame, you almost had it until you said Nick Cannon's first album was fire. That's when you lost the whole world. So, unfortunately, this point is going to my guy Premier because he just had the nice subtle flex of saying he just released a book and hit us with the New York Times numbers. I like that. That was a nice flex. What's the name of your book, bro?
Thoughts become things. Creative moments, creating moments.
I like that, man. Point goes to Premier. Next question, third question. We're talking TDE. Now, Snoop Dogg said that TDE is this decade's version of Death Row. Jones, should we be putting TDE up there with the likes of Death Row and Bad Boy labels of that nature?
I think Snoop was definitely on that chronic. He definitely had to be because Death Row had a way bigger impact than what TDE is having. I mean, we have Kendrick Lamar, we have Schoolboy Q, we have, I don't know, SZA. Okay, that's all I can name. So Death Row, I could just go down the list. We don't even have enough time for that. So I think Snoop was on that chronic.
Diddy, do you believe that TDE and Death Row should be mentioned in the same sentence?
I don't feel like anybody in this generation is going to be able to accomplish what was accomplished back in 1996, 1995, 1994, when people was actually purchasing albums in like heavy bulk like they are. This is the streaming era, so those numbers aren't obtainable. But I do think TDE has talent akin to what Death Row had. You got Kendrick Lamar, who's on par with everything that the biggest artists in Death Row did. You got Schoolboy Q, you got Ab-Soul, you got J-Rock, you got Reason, you got Sir, you got SZA. Like, they have a stacked label over there of super talented artists. You got Soundwave as a producer, mixed by Ali. That label is stacked to the T, just like Death Row was. They're not going to reach them numbers, but Kendrick will reach those numbers by itself. But overall, talent-wise, I think they are on par with what Death Row was. Death Row only has Snoop, Dre, and
a guy named
Tupac. That was it. They ain't have anybody else. The Dog Pound is okay. Crooked Eye came later on. That label was cool.
Yeah. Premier, are you on board? Who are you with, TDE or Death Row?
Death Row. Who else? Jodeci getting put inside of a closet apparently to write certain lyrics. Vanilla Ice being held out of money for Ice Ice Baby to pay for Death Row. Stabbing, shootings. What are we talking about here? I don't know in what context Snoop was talking. I have to agree with Press Play. It must have been there. Ooh-wee. Because he was there for it. I'm confused.
Yeah. All right. Now, this point goes to Dame. I personally think that Death Row's run may be a little overrated. We had Pac, Snoop, and Dre, and then after that, it's falling off a cliff. Dog Pound had one album. You got Lady of Rage. Like, come on, Afro Puffs. The song was hot, but let's be honest, she didn't really have that big of a career. TDE, with the power behind Kendrick and those other artists that have nice niche fan bases, you know what I'm saying? They can make some moves out here. So I'm with you, Dame. Death Row is slightly overrated. And it's tough to compare eras anyway. People not buying music the same way, so it's hard to compare. It's like comparing LeBron and Mike, man. It's just tough, all right? The game is different. Now, before we get to our next topic, you know how we got to do, man. Take a break, pay some bills. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Hey, bro, I see your beard been growing. What you been using?
Hey, what maestro?
Hi, I'm using Goals by nature. It's all in my bed. I like how I feel, and it come in like 4 different flavors. I see that it's growing and it's looking healthy, man. You make me feel like a baby. I'm trying to get like you, man. Stop it. No, for real, man. I gotta go cop it. So tell me a little more about it. You know I got you, cause you gotta try it. I'm black on business and they rock it. At Goals by Nature, go follow. You start with the cleanse it and wash it. And next you gon' need to detox it. And then it's the oils, the butter, and they even got rid of face moisturizer. I play.
All right, man, we are back. With that being said, I'm your host, Animal Brown. You know what time it is. Good look, bad look, no look. This time we are talking the latest release from Griselda Records, Westside Gunn's Hitler Wears Hermes 7. Dame, good look, bad look, no look, the new project from Westside Gunn.
Look, man, I had to get on Sean for this earlier. I don't know why he keep writing these Griselda questions. Ain't nobody checking for Griselda. Look, are they some dope MCs? Yes, absolutely. They have the worst production of any group of artists I've ever heard in my life. Them beats are so weak. I was falling asleep standing up listening to that album this morning. Benny the Butcher came through on one of the tracks, the Lucha Bros, and brought some life to the project. I like all the wrestling references and stuff like that because I'm a huge wrestling fan. But no, that's the last time I'm listening to that project. Never listening to it again. That's definitely no look.
Premier, are you checking for that new Westside Gunn?
As somebody who wasn't a fan of these guys originally and then started to grow into it and appreciate exactly what they're trying to do when it comes to their rap, and they're not trying to sell out just to sell records and, you know, sing on tracks and not play, you know, these guys are giving straight lyrics. Buffalo, New York, signed to Shady. So, I mean, they have enough looks. What else do you need? Now, when you say they don't, you know, no one's checking for them, that popularity, yeah. This is a 90s era feel. Alchemist production, Green Lantern, and other, can't even think of some other producers that was on it. Fat Joe coming through with sounding like Joey Crack on tracks. Come on. What more can you ask for? If you're a 90s hip-hop head, if you like lyrics, you like rap, then these dudes is doing exactly what they should be doing, constantly giving out music and bars. Bars.
All right. Jones, how'd you feel about that Westside Gunn?
Well, I'll be honest, they are not in my playlist, so I'm going to give this a bad look.
All right.
Simple and easy.
That was quick. All right, fair enough. Not on your playlist, but apparently not on Dame's either. This one goes to Premier because they are fire. They need to be on both of y'all playlists. I don't know what y'all are doing, what y'all playlists look like, but other than Jesus is King, you need to go ahead and add this Westside Gunn project as well. Be checking out the Griselda movement. That wave is crazy. The look will come sooner or later being signed to Shady. That's just kind of how things happen. Eminem will put them on MTV or something somewhere, and everybody going to be a fan. That's just how it works. All right, moving on. Let's take it down south. T.I. He's had a little bit of a war of words with him and his former protege, Iggy Azalea. He says that Iggy is his biggest blemish on his musical career. Jones, do you believe Iggy Azalea is T.I.'s biggest tarnish?
I think T.I. is he just got a sore spot right now with her. I think that Iggy gave him a whole new look. Like, Iggy's crossed over pop. Whatever is going on in T.I.'s head, his little cockiness, he need to let it go. Whatever issues they got, he need to let it go. Iggy helped with his career. I mean, as far as making him more of a mogul.
All right. Dame, do you think that Iggy was a tarnish on T.I.'s resume?
First, I want to just comment on something that, you know, Jones said over there. She said that it helped him be a mogul. No, B.O.B. helped him be a mogul, not Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea is not the biggest tarnish on his name. It's all the times he went to jail. Because he should have been putting out music, hey, T.I., don't come looking for me. I don't want no problems, nothing expeditiously. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, I do think that all those jail sentences really hurt his career. Every single time he was like on the verge of doing something really dope, he got locked up. He could have put Meek Mill out. He had Meek Mill, went to jail, couldn't even put him out. That's the biggest blemish on his record. T.I. could have been the one to put Meek Mill out, not T.I. put out Iggy Azalea. Nobody cares about Iggy Azalea, but her fan base is actually rocking to her little pop records.
Premier, do you think Iggy was that big of a hit on T.I.'s resume?
I don't think it was that much of a hit. I honestly kind of surprised that he's still talking about it in a way, you know. So when I kind of went over this question in my head and seen the interview and on the Breakfast Club, I think he talked about it at the same time again. I don't know if he may have been asked, so maybe he's answering his question he's asked. But at some point, it's kind of like, she's not talking about you, so why are you still talking about her? And I know he, you know, gives his opinion. Everyone has the right to do so, but at this point, where he has so many other things that he can move on to and be talking about, that I think you kind of just leave that alone. I don't know the undertones behind everything. I don't know what happened after, you know, she had success and maybe she felt like she was bigger than him and didn't need his guidance anymore. I don't know any of that, but you know, maybe his ego was kind of hurt, and that's why he's still talking about it. But I just feel like he needs to move on. And just one question, I just don't want to know, like, what rapper really, what going to jail, when does it hurt them? Like, I thought that's the thing to do.
In some instances, especially the T.I. instance, it did hurt him because he went to jail at just the wrong time. So this point absolutely goes to Dame. You have to take onus and responsibility for your own mistakes. His answer should have been, nah, my biggest blunder was me getting locked up and not being able to support my label and my artists, where he had some talented cats on there, B.O.B., Young Dro, Meek Mill. That is what he should have said. I think he distanced himself from Iggy just in time to where people don't even really necessarily correlate those two artists anymore. They forget that she was even signed to him in the first place. And so with that being said, that one goes to Dame. He's 100% correct, all right? Now, next topic. We're going to keep it T.I. He was recently on Hot 97 speaking with Ebro, and he let Ebro know he wants to be the next rapper from Atlanta on the hip-hop mogul list. Now, in other news, 2 Chainz has been making some big plays. He's got a minor stake in ownership with the Atlanta G League team. He also has bought stake in the A3C conference. My question to you, Jones, who do you see as the next mogul hitting that Forbes list coming out of Atlanta?
Now we're talking about between T.I. and 2 Chainz, right?
Sure, or if you got a dark horse in the race.
I'm going to go with 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz has been moving in these streets. He has the whole cannabis thing going. He is in politics. He's all over the place. So if I had to choose between those two, I definitely would have to go with 2 Chainz because he just broadened his horizons with all different avenues, from the cannabis industry to politics to music to everything. So I respect his hustle.
Premier, who do you see being the next A-town rapper on the Forbes list?
You got one person talking about they want to do it. You got one person actually doing it, making moves to do it. So between those two, definitely 2 Chainz is on his way to doing it, not just talking about it.
All right. Dame, who you got?
Well, look, I do like some of the moves 2 Chainz is making. I like the shoes he has with Gucci and everything like that. But I'm going to go with T.I. actually. T.I. is making some serious moves. He's working for the mayor. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, I think he's actually trying to position himself to be part of Bernie Sanders' campaign with Killer Mike. He's doing some really, really serious power moves. He's starting another business with Killer Mike. He has a strip. I think T.I. is the next one up.
All right, now you guys are close. I don't think you can really go wrong with either one of these answers, but Dame, you lost me at 2 Chainz having a shoe with Gucci. He has a shoe with Versace. But that is okay. I'm not going to hold that against you. You just won't be getting this point. This one goes to Jones. She's 100% correct. 2 Chainz has been doing this thing for a long time, even with the dabbing Santa sweaters. I mean, he made a hella crazy bag off of that. So his business acumen is often overlooked, but I believe he would be the next person on there if he's not on there already. All right, now, before we get to this last round, let's take one more break, man. Pause for the calls. We'll be right back.
All these niggas out here trying to ball. I'm just out here trying to win. Lord forgive me for all my sins. Real nigga just can't pretend. I put it all on the line. I tell him right now it's my time. Yeah, I ain't waiting for that nigga. Damn sure ain't waiting for signs. Yeah, all of my niggas on go. I work for back on the low. And if I say I'ma do something, just know I'ma do it for sure.
We are back. With that being said, it's your man Animal Brown. We are in the final round. Last question. This is who died. This will determine the winner of today's show. Let's talk Netflix, all right? They have a hip-hop competition show hosted by Chance, T.I., and Cardi B. It's called Rhythm and Flow. Spoiler alert, D-Smoke won the entire competition. Premier, did Netflix get it right with this hip-hop competition?
They definitely got it right. Look how many people tuned in. They're already getting rolling with the next season of things. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a much bigger audience tuned in for the next one. Bigger budget, probably have more contestants involved, and just everything always gets better the second time around. And of course, the information, or I wouldn't say the education that these artists were getting from these hip-hop people who are currently Chance the Rapper, T.I., Cardi B, currently having success. You've seen growth in these contestants who actually had careers even before the show came on. So they got it right.
All right.
Something for us.
Jones, do you believe D-Smoke was the rightful winner?
As far as consistency, super talented guy, came out on the piano. Overall, yes, he deserved the win. But would I have signed him out of those 4? I would have signed, can't think of dude's name. Troy Man. Yeah, Troy Man was fire. He's young, he's ready, he could perform his off. So, honestly, the D-Smoke's music is dope. It's a little harder to push mainstream. Troy Man, he could go across all platforms. That's who I would have signed.
All right, let me ask you, Dame, who would you have gone with for that Final Four?
I would have went with D Smoke. First of all, the show was not about signing anybody. You only won money. It's to promote you. You get money to promote yourself. This show got it right because unlike American Idol and all the other shows out there, they sign you to a record deal, and if you fail, it makes your show look bad. This show gives you money to promote yourself, so if you fail, it's on you. The show can go on forever, technically. They picked the right people. D Smoke, overall, he consistently killed every performance. I love Troy Man's last performance, but D Smoke consistently got better each time you saw him. Because I didn't think he was going to win it first. I thought Flawless had it in the bag. One Take Carter was pretty dope. He should have moved on past the Cypher round. But there was a couple things that I thought was wrong, but I felt like they got the Final Four right, and the right person was choosing to win.
All right, now listen, I'm agreeing with all of y'all. I like Troy Man just like I like D Smoke. I wouldn't have been mad if he would have won, but I do think at the end of the day, D Smoke was a little bit more polished. You could tell he's got a little bit more experience in the game. We found out later on his brother is Sir, who is signed to TDE, so he already had a little bit of a connection, a little bit of a cheat code, just a little bit, but it was a dope show. I'm giving a point to everybody. Everybody was right. The Netflix show was fire. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all check that out. With everybody getting a point, the winner goes to Premiere. You get this W on this episode. Give us some words before we get out of here.
If it don't make money, it don't make sense. With that being said, out.
All right, there it is. You heard it from the man himself. We'll see y'all next time, man. It's your man, Animal Brown. We out.